Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away and it's a brand new week. Today I'm going to be doing the next 4 stages of the Hachette Partworks release of Build the Doctor Who Dalek. Exterminate! Look at the size of that one. Got quite a lot to do today. Obviously, in the last pack, we had finished this top section. God, this is so heavy here at the moment. We've done the eye stalk. We changed some of the things in the inside there. But that is how that is looking at the moment. Now, I don't know if this is still available. Check out the video description and also that QR code on the screen. That will let you know if it is or not. But before we jump into it, today I've probably got the furthest away for merch on the map. Now today's merch on the map comes all the way from Western Australia. We've got Murray Gayski, who's just sort of like northish of Perth on the western coast there, which is going to be absolutely miles away. I think Murray might be coming over to England soon, so hopefully he'll be coming to the workshop, which is going to be cool as well. But as you can see, Murray is wearing a robot shirt. Looks absolutely brilliant, and I know Murray is definitely going to be the furthest away we've had so far. Now Australia, I've done this journey, so I should know this, but I'm guessing 13,000 miles, 14,000 miles. I don't know. Let's see what it is. But Murray, you now hold the record for the furthest away. The shirt looks absolutely brilliant on you, and you are giving me a yearning to go back to my hometown. Well, I say hometown, home country. I was actually born in Adelaide, so I never went to the western coast of Australia. But I do love this merch on the map and seeing how far the merch gets to. Anyway, if you want to do this for yourself, I've put a link to my Dashery store there. You can get yourself an item of merchandise, take your picture and then email me over here and I'll ensure that you'll be on merch on the map. Now I think I'm actually caught up with all the merch on the map now, so if you do submit something, there's pretty much a good possibility that you will be shown on the channel. But without further ado, back to the Dalek, let's get cracking. My little travel thing for Murray there, it's only just updated for me and I was well out. I was like 4,000 miles out. I didn't realise it's just over 9,000 miles. That's pretty crazy. We're going to be doing pack 11. So this is stage 11 here, and this is the magazine. Looking like this. And as you can see, it looks like we've got a couple of brackets, we've got a lead, we've got a motor, and we've got some screws. So we're going to be mounting this into the dome section. We're going to be using the test board by the look of that just to check the motor's working. And that's how it's looking at the end of this stage. Okay, so here's everything that we get in this stage. I'll just push that back and I'm going to put down a cloth. Rather than something big, I'm just going to be using this because if I turn this over here, I'm going to be putting this bracket here, probably best on the top camera, just onto this section here like this. Now, I am ensuring that the spring is in this section here because I'm guessing that at the moment as it moves that spring is able to pop out there at the moment. Now I'm holding that into place with the AP screws. I need 4 of these. It is interesting that we had 2 different bags of screws for me here, but they've all got AP screws in them, so there's no difference between them. This is the last screw just going into here. And then just for a minute, I'm going to put that to one side. And the reason being is because we're going to be installing the motor. Now, I want to check that this motor works. So I do have the test board here. And what I want to do is take this adapter here and on the smaller side of it, plug the motor in. And then plug the larger side here into this tester board. God. Or tester battery box. We don't actually put it in the board, just here. And then holding it here, I'm going to turn this on. And there you go. That's working perfectly. Excellent. So I am just going to unplug that for now, leaving this extension part or adapter part in onto that test board. We don't need that at the moment because I'm now going to put the motor into place. So I want this shaft of the motor to be going into the hole at the back of the eye stalk there. So I'm going to put that in there and then ensure that the motor is sitting comfortably in this housing. Now, in the instructions, they've got it so that the black wire is pointing up. So I am going to just need to rotate this round. I'm going to use the motor for that because it is gear driven, till I can get this in the position I want. So if I'm holding it that way round, I'm going to want this to be on that side. So I'll go like that and hold it into there. Perfect. That will enable me then to put this in here and the motor comfortably in there, just like that. Now I'm holding this with my finger here to ensure that doesn't come out, because I now need to close that into place by putting this cap over the top, making sure it's the right way round with the open side that way there, and then I'm securing that in once again with these AP screws. Once again, I'm putting them in very lightly at the moment until I've got all 4 of these in. Now, it tells you not to test the motor at the moment. The reason being is because the motor will go all the way round, but it's not meant to. The little bracket and like joint that we put in is only meant to be going 180 degrees backwards and forwards like this. So if you do try and test the motor, it's going to just try and go all the way round, jam up, and probably break your motor. Don't want that to happen. I am going to test it though, but I'm going to show you a safe way to do it. Now, obviously, we're going to be having a remote control to do this for us. So I'm just using some of my Arduino wires here just to give you an idea of how this actually works. So that's pretty much all the way in its down position at the moment. So if I just reverse the polarity here and turn it on, that's going to be putting it in its up position, like that. And then again, I can reverse the polarity again. This is just a test so you can see how this works. And it goes down. Perfect. And with that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. Okay, so now we're on stage 12. Here's the instructions. And in this stage, we have got a control board, some screws, and it looks like a couple of more brackets as well. We're going to be putting the control board into place here. So it's looking just like that. Let's get all of these parts out. Once again, bring over my Dalek here. And I'm going to be putting the control board just over the 2 points there. And that's going to be held in with AP screws. So one here and one on this side. And I'm going to start plugging all of these cables in. So we can remove the tape now for these. And as you can see, they are labelled. So this one says LD. I'm going to plug that into LD here. We've got this one here, the multicoloured one, which says SX. That's going into this one here. Then I've got LE, which goes here. And then the motor here, as you see, is labelled A. That's going to go into A. So I'll just take out all my tape for now. But that is all there is to do in that stage. We are left with a couple of parts here, so I will keep them safe. So here is stage 13. Looks like we've got another motor here. Here's the magazine. And we're going to be mounting this motor in the bracket that we had from the last stage, just like this, and putting a cog or a gear in there as well. And by the look of it, we've got this big steel ring. That's what the big part was that we saw at the start of this stage. I will do this on its own though. So, taking the bracket from last time, I'm going to be dropping this motor through. They've got the red side, if you look on the top camera on my left. So that's going to go in there just like this. It goes all the way down. So it's coming out the bottom there, as you can see. To hold that into place, this is what the bracket here is for. What I want to do is thread the lead in like that, and then that will fit over the top just like that there. I'm holding that in with these AP screws, and we need 2 of these. we always get one spare. You notice on this build. All that's left to do then is to take this gear, and I'm going to be putting that just on here like this. Make sure it's this side that's facing up and push that down. It's going to be quite tough, but it will go in, and make sure it's all the way down there. And that's all there is to do in that stage. Which means in the last stage, we've got this big pack here. And let's look at the magazine here. Can't be much to do on this one. We're going to be mounting the plate that we just created onto this section just here, as you can see. So it is a quick stage. And in the next stage, which will be coming in the next pack, we've got this part just here. So I'm a member of the Facebook group, and someone did show this part off. But they showed something which, I don't know if my one's, no, my one hasn't got that issue. That, let me just show you the problem they had. That where we're going to be mounting this here, one of these holes here wasn't drilled out. I don't know if anyone else has got that problem, but as you see, mine are fine here. Now, I'm looking at both sides here, and they're not symmetrical. So the way we're mounting this is all going to be depending on a side that it's going to go on. So I'm looking at their picture, and if you look on my top camera here, it's this way that it's going to go on. So basically, this is going to go on here, and then this notch here has got the slanted side going from my left to the right, as you can see there. I'm trying to line it up with this bit here, because if you have it on the other way, it's going to be the wrong way round. So that in the instructions, they've definitely got it this way round. Now, in case you did what I did and wonder where the CP screws are, look, they're stuck to the bottom of this plate here. Because this is then going to be fitting on top just like that. It's held in from the other side with some of these flange CP screws, and I need 4 of these. And you know me, that's all there is to do in that stage, but I do want to test it just to make sure that that gear's moving. So once again, I can use that adapter. It's not asking you to test it, just so you know, but I am. I don't think there's any chance of burning the motor out, but I do want to check that that's actually moving, which it moves absolutely fine. That's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. And there you go, that's the Dalek done for another month. Let me just disconnect that lead there. So we've obviously done one of the bottom rings here, which has got the gear on which is going to enable this to turn. That's what that was doing. And then obviously, if I can find it, over here, we've been working on the Stalk motor, which means that that can't now pop out, that spring in there, and we've seen that go up and down. Again, you don't want to test the motor because you can, there is a chance of you damaging it. Unless you do what I did. But, you know, I do things so you don't have to, but I haven't damaged my motor, but I did want to demonstrate how that works. So once again, if you do want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description. There's also that QR code on the screen, but I really hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.